Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. It's been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60-yard. X3. 2-2.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On the ground, Richard. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now. Richard. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league that's told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Second and 10. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They're going to look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Minshew sets to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoff.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now Eckler. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give him the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there? Because I was. I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
11 yards there and a Lion first down.
First and 10 at the 40.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
80 weapons. Hey, orbit.
He's coming to double up.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Josh Allen racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play.
Here we go.
And guess what?
50,
they took
play.
a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Let go.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On second and 7, Minshew. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Intended for Chris Conley.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Minshew throwing on third down. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports.
Ready up.
Mike 58 right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Minshew completes it to Lee. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Richard trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Trey Flowers there on the tackle. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Here we go.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Ready? 60 out now. Christian, travel.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, Minshew. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. That's complete to Nauta, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
A pass there complete to Westbrook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch up, switch up.
Gone, gone.
Slam.
261, matchbox lights.
Here is Eckler. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offense.
It's caught inside the 25.